Rangers will savour their first European final in 14 years after an epic journey that has lasted 260 days over 7 countries and under the leadership of 2 different managers. The Ibrox side will be greeted by a sea of beach balls and sombreros. That'll be before they reach the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan Stadium in Seville, as they bid to seal a European trophy just 10 years after plying their trade in Scottish football's bottom tier. Giovanni van Bronckhorst's Europa League heroes have taken some monumental scalps along the way, with Borussia Dortmund and RB Leipzig among the teams to have been brushed aside at will. And there is no doubt the Scottish side will arrive in Seville with their chests puffed out as they prepare to face Eintracht Frankfurt with just 90 minutes standing between them and immortality. The road to Seville began back in August with a disappointing Champions League's exit at the first hurdle after a defeat to Malmo in the third qualifying round, with Steven Gerrard at the helm. The Light Blues dropped into the Europa League playoff round and edged out Armenian side Alashkert with a 1-0 win over the 2 legs to book a group stage spot for the 4th year in a row. Rangers were drawn alongside Lyon, Sparta Prague and Brøndby in Group A. With consecutive defeats to Lyon and Sparta in their opening 2 games, it made the road to the final seem nothing more than a pipe dream. But 4 points from the next 2 matches, home and away against Brøndby, gave the Gers a glimmer of hope of reaching the knockout stages. Then came the departure of manager Steven Gerrard to Aston Villa. New boss Giovanni van Bronckhorst led his side to a 2-0 win over Sparta Prague at Ibrox in his debut in the dugout. A win which saw Rangers book a knockout spot with a 2nd place finish. When Champions League dropouts Borussia Dortmund were pulled from the hat, even the most ardent of Rangers fans wouldn't have held out much hope of reaching the next stage. One man Rangers wouldn't have to face in the tie was Erling Haaland, and Giovanni van Bronckhorst was delighted that his side would avoid having to defend against one of the world's top strikers.
Everyone recognises the talent he has, the player he is. I mean, he's one of the top strikers in the world, so yes, of course, it's for us it's just a case to also prepare the game without him.
But the Light Blues proved their doubters wrong again. A 4-2 win at the Signal Iduna Park combined with a 2-2 draw in the second leg at the rocking Ibrox saw Rangers stun the German giants and send shockwaves around Europe with a 6-4 aggregate win over the Bundesliga side. The Gers blew away Red Star Belgrade in Glasgow in the last 16, and despite losing the return leg 2-1 at the Rajko Mitic Stadium a week later, the Scottish side booked their quarter-final spot. In their wake stood old European foes Braga, but Rangers were now fearless and led by skipper James Tavernier as the fans were daring to dream of European glory. An unexpected blow to Rangers occurred as striker Alfredo Morelos was ruled out for the rest of the season, and his absence was felt as they fell a narrow 1-0 defeat in the first leg. But on loan Juventus star Aaron Ramsey was declared fit for the mouth-watering second leg tie, and he warned Rangers would have to be on top of their game to see off the Portuguese side.
We have to be right on top of our game again. There's no easy teams at this stage, so we're gonna have to give it everything, and make sure we leave every ounce of it out there, because that's what's going to be required to progress.
A packed Ibrox roared Rangers into a 2-0 lead in the second leg after a double from the captain, before a late header from David Carmo sent the quarter-final into extra time in Glasgow. Kemar Roofe stepped up for the Ibrox side to break Braga's hearts and send the Rangers fans and players into raptures as they catapulted themselves into the last 4. With another Bundesliga club standing in their way in RB Leipzig, Rangers were dealt another hammer blow after Kemar Roofe joined Alfredo Morelos on the sidelines, and it showed in a first leg that saw Rangers go down 1-0 in Germany after a wonder goal from Angelino. But Rangers midfielder Ryan Jack pointed to the team's ability to turn it around at home, with Thursday nights becoming more and more special at Ibrox.
Still all to play for us, and that's the mentality that we need to have next week, that going into the game at Ibrox with our fans behind us, we've done it before, so we're excited to try and do that again.
And an astounding comeback was on the cards, with strikes from Tavernier, Kamara and Lundstrom sealing a 3-2 aggregate win and sending the Gers into a European final and the fans into floods of joyous tears and elation. The night was tinged with sadness after the passing of iconic Rangers kitman Jimmy Bale just days before the semi-final. He was on the minds of everyone at Ibrox, including an emotional Giovanni van Bronckhorst.
I think we ended the atmosphere of partying, and we took a moment to let the achievement sink in, and to have a really nice toast of Jimmy the Kitman, who I'm sure was watching it.
Now Rangers are on the way to Seville, Eintracht Frankfurt await, and who would bet against the side completing a monumental journey with the sight of James Tavernier holding a European trophy in front of a frenzied sea of red, white and blue. Giovanni van Bronckhorst certainly believes.
So it starts with belief. So do we believe we can win the final? Of course we can win the final, but we respect the team, we're going to prepare well, and make sure we are well prepared for the game we play against Frankfurt.
If you enjoyed this content, subscribe to PLZ Soccer's YouTube channel.